So we'll see about the topics of strings in Java.
Mm-hmm.
So you see, string is a class, right? Because there is one big, you can see that it is uppercase for the first letter, right? So uppercase, if there is a word with uppercase, it represents that it is a class. Okay. So a string is a class, and it it stores the value like this, like you want to store some words or maybe line paragraphs, so it can store using if you use the string data type. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For example, this geeks, so we have geeks, so it's like an array, and for g we have an address like this. For every single element we have address like this, and after the s you see there is one escape sequence slash 0. So this is a escape sequence. It will be there whatever string you create. Okay. For example, if you create 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4, and after that we will have slash 0. Just remember this, and I hope you know this already, that if you have an array, the indexing of array starts from 0. So it starts from 0 1 2 3. It doesn't start from 1 2 3 4. Okay.
Okay.
So it starts from 0 1 2 3 4, and we have 5.
Yeah, I know that, sir.
Okay, cool. So there are ways of creating Java string. So first thing is we have a string literal. Second thing, using new keyword. So you know, when do we use new keyword? When we want to create object, right? So when we create it using, like when we create it like this without using new keyword, in that case it comes into the static memory. Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So to make Java more efficient memory, because no new objects are created if it exists already in the string constant pool. So what it tells, if we have already string object in your memory, then it will replace the value. Like it will not create any new object, and it will store the value in constant pool. So these are few terms you have to take a look 2 or 3 times, then you will be able to remember it. Second way to create a string is using new keyword. So the first way was without using new keyword, and it was stored in the static memory. Second way of creating is using new keyword, and it is stored in heap memory. So you see there are two new terms, which is first one is your static memory, second one is your heap memory. So these are the types of memory we have when we talk about the context of having reference variables and storing it. So yeah, there is stack memory as well, stack, heap, and this is your static memory. So we will discuss about those things later maybe. But for now, our main focus is the string. So you know how to create a string now. There are two ways. First thing without using the new keyword, and second thing is with using new keyword. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So in the second way, we are using new, then we are creating it like we are doing the string, then we are creating it. In such case, Java Virtual Machine will create a new string object. Okay. So in this case, it will create a new string object. In this case, it is not creating new string object because it is already existing. Okay. It will create a new string object in normal heap memory. In this case, it was created in constant pool. In this case, we don't have any pool. It is created in heap memory. And this welcome, so you can call this as a literal. This will be placed in the string constant pool. And in this case, we already have this in string constant pool. This we already have one object will be created. So the main thing which you should understand if you want to write in your exams, that is you can create it using two ways. So first one is without using new, and second one is using new. And first one will be created in the static, second one will be created in the heap memory. Okay. After this, we have few interfaces and classes in strings in Java. So we'll go through each one by one. So first one is your string. So you created this, right? You know this, that this is the way to create string, right?
Yes, sir.
So, so let's discuss about this string. So it is a class, but it is an immutable class. Now, what does it mean by immutable?
Immutable.
So the meaning of immutable is once you create this, okay, once you create this geeks, you cannot change the value of geeks. So you cannot change the value which is stored in your string, okay.
Okay.
So immutable means you cannot change the value. If you want to modify a string, a new string object is created. Now, if you try to modify this, suppose in the first case, let's do this. You know what? Let's just open IntelliJ. Let's try to do this and figure out what it is. So this is your main class. Let me remove this. Let me create a string s is equals to, let's say, Zishan. Okay, cool. Let's print it out. Let's print it out s. Okay, so it will print that it is Zishan. Okay.
Okay.
But if a string is immutable, it should not, like, it should show some error, right? If we change it to some other value, let's say this case local, and if we try to print, let's see what happens. So it changes the value. But how it is working? If this string is immutable, then how it changes the value? Are you there?
Yes, sir.
So if the string is immutable, then how it is changing the values? Why a string is immutable? Because you see this class, right? Public final class string. So once you
Yeah.
create the object of a string, it is a final. So once you create it, it cannot be changed. So it is a final object, okay?
Okay.
So strings are constant, their values cannot be changed after they are created. Okay, then how is it working? How we are still able to do this? Because it creates another object.
Oh, that S is another object itself.
No,
Then what is another
here
object?
is also here, because it goes to the another reference, something like that happens. Let me check. Let me ask it. It will give you better answer, I guess. Uh, why s is not mutable here? Okay, so when we say string is immutable, we mean once a string object is created, its contents cannot be changed. So you see, when I told you the example of final keyword, right? I gave an example of an array, and I
Yeah.
was able to change the value of the array even though we did it final, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you see, we are not changing the reference of it. We are changing the value of it.
Okay.
So this is a string object. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So S points to a string object Dishan. S now points to a new string object Mukul. And this is another string object. The variable S is just a reference. Okay. So this is a string object and S is just a reference. Okay. You know how we create the object? We created like new string, right? Inside that we use this, right?
Yeah.
So instead of this, we are saying this is Zishan directly. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So what is S? S is mere the reference. It is just the reference. Okay. It's not the object. It is the reference of the object. Okay. S is the reference of the object. It's not the object. Okay. I just wanted you to know this.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever you do like this, whenever you create something like this, so this is a reference of an object which is here. Again, this is a reference of an object here.
Got it.
So the object is different. This Jishan object is different. Object is different here. But the reference is same.
Sir, so how will we print Zishan?
What happened?
How will we print Zishan in that code?
We need to point to this address. Okay, let me ask. This is a great question actually. How will I point back to the channel object? Okay, Z-pointing, juicy points. Okay. If you want us to point back to Zishan, you can simply do S. Okay, that's cool.
No, in the same code though, not with a different code.
Yeah. We can do this as well. So if we have S1 is equals to Zishan here, if we have
S2.
string S2 is equals to, so now we have two different reference, okay?
Yeah.
And in both we have different objects. So are these two equal? Is S1 equals to S2?
No, sir.
Let's see. False, obviously. Now let's say if S1 here is equals to Mukund. Okay. So now is S1 is equals to S2?
True, sir.
True. Because in this case S2 points to the Mukund object, and here now we are changing it back, so S1 now points to the Mukund object itself. So that's why S1 is equals to S2. Okay,
Correct.
let's write this. And what it will print. Let's see the definition. So it compares the string to the specified object. What it will print? Can you guess?
Uh, Over here, I don't know, sir.
It prints true because both of these variable is pointing to the same object. Okay,
Okay, so it's
that's why.
true.
Yeah,
That is a Boolean function, it means.
yeah, it's a Boolean function. That's why it's returning true. It is a little bit confusing, so you might have to take a look again. But it is an immutable class, which means that once a string object is created, its value cannot be changed. If you want to modify a string, a new string object is created and the original remains unchanged.
Okay.
Okay. Now, apart from string, there are some other methods to create a string. So you can see string buffer.
Mm-hmm.
So usually it comes in exams like what is string buffer and string builder? What is the difference between string buffer and string builder? These things come.
Yeah, right.
So let's see difference in string buffer and string builder. we'll get to know. So you see. So string buffer is present since early versions of Java, and string builder was introduced in Java 5. Never mind. String buffer is synchronized. This means multiple threads cannot call the methods of string buffer simultaneously. So we cannot, if do you know the meaning of threads?
Threads,
Yeah, threads.
like words.
Um, how do I explain that to you? Suppose you have a line, okay? In a line, you are currently doing some steps, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And you have another line, and you have third line, fourth line. So you have four lines, and in each line you are doing some steps.
Okay.
So in string buffer, it says if you are executing string buffer in one line, you cannot call this method in another line
Okay.
until unless this is free. And in string builder, it is asynchronous. This means that any thread can call the method of string builder simultaneously. Now in this case, we have synchronization. That's why it is thread safe class, and we don't have, so it is not thread safe. So it's when we learn multi-threading, then we'll get to know that what are these things. Now, due to synchronization, it is a lot slower than, so string buffer, it is slower than string builder. String builder is faster. So this one is slow.
Okay.
Buffer is slow. Buffering. My
Yeah.
YouTube is buffering, so it is slow. You can learn it like this. The string buffer is slow. String builder is fast. It is used in multi-threaded environments. It is used in single-threaded or non-concurrent environments. So that's it. So we can create a string like this as well. Instead of writing string, we can just write string buffer and everything will be same. Okay, there's no big deal about this. So let's say if you want to create Zishan, you can just say string buffer Zishan, and you need to, for this one you need to write new keyword.
Oh,
And
you don't have to assign it.
yeah, we cannot directly assign it. Yeah. Now we can print it. So I hope now you know string buffer as well, and string as well, string builder. Let's try that also. So it's just the difference in syntax only, but we are treating strings. That's it. Okay. See, it's all working. Even if you use string or string buffer or string builder, now you know everything. Okay. There is
Yes,
one
sir.
more concept, string tokenizer. You don't have to go through it right now because it's unnecessary. Just leave it. Mm, immutable string in Java. See, if we have this Sachin and if we cannot change it, right? So how can we change it? How can we do some changes inside this, right? Once you write it, you have to forget. No, it's not like that. We have some methods in string, for example, concat. In this way, you can wait. What? It's not working. You can directly add plus, and it will create a new object. So string is not immutable. Sorry, string is immutable. That's why even if you concatenate the Tendulkar in Sachin, it will still print the Sachin. Okay, are you good? Are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Are you able to understand this?
Yeah, yes, sir.
So if we have Sachin in S here, and if we concatenate something, concatenate means we are adding something after n. If we are adding something, So it should be added, right? But it's not added because you know this already that string is immutable.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now let's say if you want to add something, let me give an example. String as section. Okay. Now if you are using concat and you're saying Tendulkar, you're printing this, so it will still print Sachin, right? It is still printing the Sachin. Let's try this with
Yeah.
string buffer. So we create a new string buffer and we write Sachin here. Okay. Sorry. We don't have concatenation method in this. So let's see what methods we have. We have append. Okay. So let's append. Um, wait, is append your integer type? Yeah, append is integer, I think. Oh, we have string as well, string append as well. So now we can append it. Let's run it and see. So you see, we are able to change the string buffer because it is not immutable. You can mutate it and change accordingly. So it's better to use string buffer, string builder if you are doing something like this. If you want to make the changes in same objects. Okay.
Yeah, sir.
So we are using string buffer and we are able to append some values. So that's nice. No, 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 no. I think you know string buffer, string literal. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. So it is stored in the string constant pool. So suppose you create some hello, this is, and this will be stored in the string constant pool directly. Okay, this is your heap, this is string constant pool, and it is stored. And suppose you create a string 2 and both are same. Suppose this is hello, this is hello. If both are same, that means both represent same object. Okay, in that case, both of these represent this string constant pool. But what is
Okay.
the case in case of new keyword? If you create it using new and if you create it as well using new, so both of these will be created in the heap area. So this external area, this external
So the
surface is
heap
your
area.
heap area. Yeah. So this will be created in your heap area. And if you create like normal using literal, it will be created in your string constant pool area.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's it. Okay. For now, this much information is enough for a string. Let's see string methods in Java. Okay. So we have multiple string methods. You can go through each one. There are a lot, but I'll just go through some important ones. So this is your important. What is character at? So suppose you created a string and you want to fetch the second value, right? This E. In that case,
Okay.
what will you do? Suppose we created a string. Let's create a string and let's start from scratch. Suppose string s is equals to zishan. Okay. Now we want to fetch this s. How to do this? In this case, we will sort out the value of s dot char at. Let's count it. So what index is this? Can you tell?
0, 1, 2.
2, right?
2.
So we'll just write 2 here and we'll print. So you see we got the s. Okay.
Yeah, 1 second.
Yeah. So now you know what is character at. So that's it. Let's
Can
go
you
back.
show me that example which you wrote, sir?
This one.
Okay. Um. Yes.
Can we do it like this? For loop until I is equals to 0 until I less than. Now we will see one more thing. S dot length. So it will get the length of this entire element. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total. So it will say it's 6. Okay.
Okay.
And let's print out everything. So out.
Where did
Let's
you write I plus plus, sir? Oh, okay, okay, got it,
increment
got
it.
it. Sorry. For loop, right?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So see, now we are able to print the Zishan. Let's run it again. ZISHAN. So we are able to fetch everything. We are able to iterate over this string. So how, what we are doing here? Iterate over this string. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's it. Can you see that each one of this is getting created in a new line?
Yeah.
But we want to print by space, Z space, I space, S space, something like that. How can we do that?
Mm,
We want to print it like this, Z, I, S, H, A. Can we
yeah,
do
that
that?
day we did the example in HackerRank.
Yeah, for that we need to we need to remove the ln from here and let's see what is happening. So we got the Zishan, but we want the space in between. So in that case, we'll add plus and we will add a space here. But you see,
Ah,
we got one extra space, right?
wait.
This last one. There is one more extra space here, this one. After n, right?
Uh-huh.
After n is one extra space. Can we remove it?
How we do?
Let me just write this first. Yeah. Let's run it. So you see, we got two extra spaces, one at the last, one at the beginning, right?
Uh-huh.
So we want to remove the extra spaces from the beginning and from the last. How can we do it? Let's print. Cool. So, okay, so we removed everything. We removed each and every spaces. Okay, we don't want to do that. But yeah, if we do the trim, we will remove the spaces from here and from here, which are but whatever is the extra spaces. Okay.
Okay.
But now you see we got to know a few things like trim, caret, length, these things, right?
Yeah.
And there is one more compare to you can go through concat. It will append a string to the end of another string. So that's all. Contains, yeah, we can see. So let's say we want to ask key in Zishan, can we find I in Zishan? Is there an I in Zishan? So we can find that. So we can do if s dot contains and we can say I or maybe I. So if it is true, we will just print that yeah true. Else what we can do? We can just print false. Let's see. So it's true because in Jishan we have I, right? Okay,
Yeah.
let's try to find some more things. Let's say if we want to find IS. Do we have IS in Zishan? Let's suppose if this is a very long sequence of characters and we want to find if is inside this. Okay, so we'll run it and we'll see. So it's saying true, but can we find 1 2 here? False. There is no 1 2 in this entire string, right?
Yeah.
So now we also know contains equals, we have already gone through, is empty. Okay, suppose we have an empty string and we want to check if s is empty. If it is empty, then it will print true. Yes, the string is empty right now. Let's add something and try again. So it is false. Okay, length you have already gone through, it will return the length of a specified string. um, Split a string into an array of substring. What? You can go through this as well. Suppose if you want to check these starts with, suppose we have like this. I want to check starts with. So the string starts with a specified character. So if s is starting with s, let's see, sorry z. So it will return false. Is our string start with d? It will return true because yes, our string is starting with d. Okay. Now we can convert everything to uppercase and to lowercase. Okay. Let's convert everything to uppercase and print the elements. S dot to uppercase and we can print. We just need to print it. So it will print the uppercase letters. Okay. You see.
Oh, two uppercase.
Yeah. Let's say we have everything uppercase here. Let's print the lowercase.
Sir, these which you are showing example, these are called variables, right?
Yeah, these are for the strings. So these are everything lowercase. So lowercase, uppercase, trim, split, concat, length, and yeah, there are so many. You just have to go through each one and try. Yeah, that's it. I think that's it for the string. Let's go through the. So I think string is clear to you, right? Is the string clear to you? String and string builder, string buffer, stack memory, heap memory, string constant pool, and these string methods like trim, then why string is immutable, then your character at, concat, contains, equals, split, to lowercase to uppercase, to string we can also convert it, right? Are you there? Yeah, so these, so we covered the string. Okay.
Yeah, sir, you can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I think my network, because I put my phone in the fridge, is too hot.
Yeah, so that was it. Can you share your screen and let's see the syllabus again?
see my WhatsApp, sir?
Yeah, I can see.
Unit 3, right, sir?
Yeah, I can see your screen.
Sir, is this what you wanted?
What happened?
This is the one you wanted us to check?
I think you didn't presented the whole screen. You just presented the Google Meet tab. Yeah, now I can see. Yeah, this one. So we have gone through the static, abstract class and methods and string as well as interfaces. Everything is done. So string comparison, we need to use compare to or maybe equals and it will be done. String copy modification, you can check. So these things are already there. String constructors, we are using the how to create a string. We are doing all that. String buffer. You know the package from the unit 3
Yeah.
and exception handling also try catch block, finally block. These things I think you already know. You just need to understand the little bit about exception and yeah, we are good to go. And after that we have file handling. So yeah, I think for the theory part we have covered a lot. Now you need to do some practice. Okay. And the rest theory for the unit 3 and unit 4 we can cover it later because all of these are just to remember about threads and all these things, so you need to return all those. Yeah, okay. So you can open hacker rank and start solving questions after I think you did till question number 5, right? Yeah, login. Stop the streaming then.